Hi guys, Simon here from Attacking 8 Ball. In this series, we're going all around the country, ranking pub pool tables based on these criteria. Today, we're at the County Arms in Winchester. In this series, we'll be focusing on single game prices throughout. Some clubs will be offering memberships to reduce the price of a single game of pool, but for sake of fairness, we'll be comparing only coin or card operated tables. Now there's two ways to pay for a game of pool in the County Arms. You can either put £1.50 in the table or pay on card or your phone using this machine. But either way, you're getting fleeced. And remember that saying, when it comes to a pound, any less, no stress, any more, out the door. So I'll see you later. All right, no, but seriously, we've got a review to do, so let's get going. So the score for the County Arms, same as the Monksbrook, £1.50 a game, but they don't offer free pool at any point. It's a 4 out of 10. Throughout the series, we'll be scoring each set of balls on the following criteria: ball type, whether there's any damage, and overall cleanliness. So as for the balls, they're basic Aramiths. They're a little bit strange though. There's 2 reds here, for example. I'm pretty sure they're from 2 different sets. We've got 3 from this set, 4 from this set. The yellows are all uniform, they all match. But yeah, that's a little bit strange. There's a little bit of damage, they're very dirty. And the cue ball, lots of chalk marks. And again, it's not got those red dots that you'd expect from a set of Pro Cups. For that reason, I'm going to score these a 4 out of 10. We're also going to be scoring the triangle at each venue. The benefit of any good triangle is getting the balls as tight as possible for the best result on the break. The best triangle I've found for this is the Smart Rack. Remember, if you want to embody the Attacking 8 Ball spirit, get yourself a Smart Rack in the description below. As for the triangle, these seem to be standard in a lot of pubs, and this is one thing that I'd love to see changed. I was mentioning it on previous episodes, that what happens where this triangle's so tight, when you go to lift it up, what it does is it disturbs the balls, and then when there's gaps in between the balls, it's very difficult to get a consistent break. For that reason, again, 4 out of 10. If you want to get rid of this problem, then I recommend using the Smart Rack. Now, as you'll see from this demo, when I go to lift up the triangle from the balls, you'll see how they all move. And then when you take the triangle away, there's gaps between all of the balls, which means that when you go to break, they don't split up evenly. The Smart Rack reduces this. So what it does is when you bring the Smart Rack onto the front of the triangle, because it's only got 2 sides, you don't have to lift it up. Instead, you just slide it forwards and it doesn't disturb the balls, keeps them all tight together, which means you get a better split on the break. As for the cues, we're going to be marking them on the following: the tip, how straight it is, and if it's dented or damaged. As you know, the standard of most pub cues isn't great, but we'll be scoring them with that in mind. If you really want to improve your game, you're going to need to use one cue consistently. The best cue I've found for doing this is the Master Cue from Ultimate Pool. If you want my video editor to be able to afford dinner tonight, pick yourself up a Master Cue in the description below. So looking at the cues at the County Arms, there's 2 that are available. You can get these from behind the bar. They're not in the best condition. This one's a little bit better than this one. As you can see, this one's kind of been glued back on and the tip's all wonky. They're not damaged. I've rolled them on the table already and they are straight. But yeah, not great overall. For that reason, again, 4 out of 10. It's all right, if you don't want to play a game of pool, this is great for a game of hide and seek. We're also going to be reviewing the chalk at each venue. The importance of chalk cannot be understated. It helps prevent miscues, helping you to grip the white, enabling you to get more spin and better control of the cue ball. As for the chalk at the County Arms, they supply 2 types. Now, obviously, there's a big difference in these 2. If you're supplying a cheaper brand like this Billiards Pro, I mean, it's better than having no chalk, but this is only going to score you about 4 or 5 out of 10, depending on whether it's chipped or broken or worn. But if you've got yourself some triangle, again, it's a little bit worn. This is going to score a lot higher. This is going to be around a 7 or an 8 out of 10. So for that reason, the fact that they do have triangle, we're going to score this an 8 out of 10. But remember, if you want the best chalk on the market, go and get yourself some Town V10. But to summarize, what you'll find in this series is that, I mean, chalk is better than nothing. If you're a pub that doesn't supply any chalk, you're going to get a 0 out of 10. So at least make sure you're supplying something. But if you just want to go for that little upgrade, this is going to be about 50p to a pound for 1 piece. This for me is just pointless, it's worthless. I wouldn't use it. The Town is more expensive, but it is definitely worth it in the long run. Following on from chalk, we're going to be reviewing the cloth on each table. The three main things we're going to be focusing on are the general condition, how well maintained it is, and how fast it is. If you want to keep your cloth well maintained, brush it regularly, keep your pints off the table, and make sure you get yourself some towel so you don't get any chalk marks, because no one likes touching dirty cloth. As for the cloth, it is quite damaged. There's a lot of marks, a lot of cloth burn, quite a bit of chalk marks, stuff like that. However, we have been informed by the landlord that they are replacing the cloth in a week. So if you decide to go to the County Arms for a game and you're expecting to see this cloth when you get here, it's probably already been changed, and we will look to review in the future the new cloth. One of the main issues with the cloth is the amount of dust and dirt around it. This is something that they're definitely going to need to be on top of when they get their new cloth fitted if they want it to last longer. For now, scoring it in its current condition, where there's a lot of marks, there's a lot of beer stains, there's a lot of dirt and dust, I'm going to score it a 3 out of 10. We're also going to be reviewing the space around each table. As a general rule of thumb, you're going to want 5 foot of space around each side of the table. So a standard 7 foot by 4 foot table, which you find in most pubs nowadays, are going to need 17 foot by 14 foot of space. Obviously, we're not going to use a tape measure to go around each table, because that might look a little bit silly. So we'll be using a cue at each venue and putting it on the edge of the table, walking round the side, and if we hit any objects, you're going to be losing points. Joe, cue the music. So as for the space around the table, there's an entire section here which is kind of blocked off by a pillar and then a shelf. For that reason, I can't really score the space around the table any more than a 5 out of 10. Just to show you what that looks like, anytime you're in this kind of position, say the cue ball is against the cushion like this, you're having to hold the cue up here to be able to play a shot, which is ridiculous. The same thing goes for the shelf. Say you're in this position and you've got a shot here, the shelf is right in the way. It's just not great. I would say in order to have this table fit properly, it needs to be a 6 foot by 3 foot. But where it's 7 foot by 4 foot, it just doesn't work in any of this area. But the rest of the table, absolutely fine. You've got plenty of space. Because of this though, we're marking it down. It's only going to score a 5 out of 10. The last item on the checklist is the roll on each table. To measure this as accurately as possible, we'll be doing 3 things. Playing the cue ball up the lengthways of the table, playing it widthways, and then lining up 2 balls along each cushion and playing the cue ball into the front ball to see how far that back ball rolls off. So as for the roll on the table, it doesn't play great down one of the cushions. However, overall, it is pretty straight. For that reason, we're going to give it a 7 out of 10. However, like I mentioned before, they are going to be replacing the cloth in a week, and my suspicion is that once they recloth it, they're going to level it, and it will probably be as close to a 10 out of 10 as you can get. Now, the ultimate test, can I get a break and clearance? I'm going to be using the facilities in the pub, so I've got to stick with this triangle, so my suspicion is they won't break well, but let's see. It'd be nice if I can get a ball on the break, and it'd be nice if I wasn't playing with a cue that had a stone attached to the end. Don't know if you guys heard that, wasn't great. So I'm surprised with the split there. Those balls definitely weren't tight. Sometimes you do get a good split, every so often with a loose rack. But yeah, let's see if we can get a finish. It's like playing with a stone on the end of the cue. All right, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Crucible. This yellow to win the match. Ridiculous. Never in doubt. He's got a chance. Cut. Shut up. Oh, God. Cut that, Joe. So as you saw there, the white rolled off just a little bit before it hit the black, otherwise it was going to go perfectly into that corner. So I fouled, hit a red, giving the cue to Joe now, seeing if he can clear these balls up. Good effort, Joe, but stick to the editing, mate. See you later. So my thoughts on the county arms. The table, supreme winner. The cloth isn't in great condition, but it's going to be replaced in a week, so I'm going to give them a benefit of the doubt when it comes to that. The cues definitely need to be addressed. The tips have been glued on one of them, and there's only 2 to choose from. They're okay, but not great if you want a proper game. I'd say the worst thing about the table overall is the space. So 1 whole quarter of the table, you can't play any shots in that area because you're up against either a shelf or a wall, which obviously isn't great. However, like I said, the table is going to be reclothed soon. Hopefully some of these issues get resolved, and we will be back soon to re-review the County Arms Winchester. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, as we've got a lot more on the way. And be sure to leave a comment as to where you want me to review next. If you want to pick up any of the products mentioned in this video with a bit of a discount and become a more attacking and well-rounded player, then click the first link in the description below. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.